Good morning. This is video number 2 talking about why our weight fluctuates when we're trying to lose weight, why it goes up, why it goes down, that frustration that we want to see this nice steady decline and sometimes we don't. So we're going to talk about what happens from day to day. Before I get into that this morning, I want to tell you I am drinking Immunity Essentials and Best Defense. So my company is not just about weight loss, we're about total nutrition. And one of the things that I love, I do every single day, is Immunity Essentials and Best Defense. And I don't claim to cure, diagnose, prevent anything, but I will tell you this, I've had this every single day for the past 2.5 years, and I've had one cold that lasted a day and a half. So not saying that's exactly why, but here, cheers, every day. All right. Okay, so today we're going to talk about getting in a little bit more detail. Yesterday we did kind of an overview of weight loss and the difference between weight loss and fat loss. So the biggest factor in weight fluctuation is water. How much water your body's holding on to. So if you get on the scale one day, yesterday you get on the scale and it said 150, and today you get on the scale and it says 160, you did not gain 10 pounds of fat overnight. So there's something else happened. So what you're holding on to is water. And we're going to talk about the causes of that water retention. The number one culprit of water weight gain is sodium, so salt. So salt is sodium chloride, sodium and chloride together. And what our body needs, we do need sodium, we do need that. But how much do we need? So, and why do we need it? So sodium, we need to conduct nerve impulses. So anytime your nerves need to work, you need to have sodium to make that function. And sodium helps you to contract and relax your muscles. So you do need sodium for muscle movement. And you need your sodium to keep a balance of water and minerals in your body so that everything stays in balance. So we do need sodium. But how much sodium does your body actually need? Okay, this blew me away. I actually looked this up and I kept looking it up, kept looking at different sources and thought, really? So our bodies only need less than 500 milligrams of sodium a day. So, I mean, let's talk about what happens if you have too much sodium, and then we'll talk about how much that 500 milligrams really is. So too much sodium can cause high blood pressure, it can cause heart disease, it can cause stroke, it can cause calcium loss. That was a eye-opener to me, that it actually can cause you to lose calcium from your bones if you have too much sodium. So we don't want too much. So, and I just said 500 milligrams. And the reason I kept saying, wait, this can't be right, and looking, is because when you see the RDA, the recommended daily allowance for sodium, it's 2,300 milligrams. That's a whole lot of milligrams of sodium that the RDA says we can have. So, but the RDA means recommended daily allowance, how much you're allowed to have in a day and still be okay. And that is like the top. Okay, so the American Heart Association, on the other hand, says we should have less than 1,500 milligrams every single day. So if you want to keep your heart healthy, you want to keep your milligrams down to less than 1,500. Okay, the average American has 3,400 milligrams of sodium in their diet every single day. That's more than 1,000 more milligrams than is allowed, and it's twice the amount that is recommended by the American Heart Association. So how much is 500 milligrams? I'm going to post also below this video, I'm going to post some images to give you an idea of how much that sodium is. And that's all we're going to talk about today, like how much the sodium is. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about hidden sources of sodium, where most of the sodium is coming from in our diets. It's not coming from, you go, I don't add any salt to my food on the table, or I just sprinkle a little bit. It's not where it's coming from. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So, okay, so how much is 500 milligrams? Okay, let's start with what the RDA allows. So one teaspoon is 2,400 milligrams of sodium. That's more than the RDA. That's more than it's allowed. So if you have 1 teaspoon of sodium, that's a lot of salt. Like this, like kind of looked at how much sodium was in a teaspoon of salt. Okay, 3/4 of a teaspoon would put you at a little bit over what the American Heart Association recommends. That would be 1,800 milligrams. Okay, 1/4 of a teaspoon, so 1/4 of a teaspoon. So, and I'm going to drop a picture of what those things look like. 600 milligrams. So let's not be adding salt to our food. Let's not be consuming foods that are high in sodium. And we're going to talk about what those foods are. So if you're seeing, so number one cause, remember number one cause of seeing that scale go up, that's not fat gain, it's actually water gain. That is water retention, and the number one cause of water retention is sodium. So let's pay attention to our sodium so you're not getting frustrated on the scale. We're going to talk some more about that tomorrow. All right?